Welcome to Don't Wait Till Pigs Fly with host Nancy Becker on Global Voice Radio. Nancy and her guests will share tips and recommendations on moving forward in your life and business now and not waiting till pigs fly. Here's your host, Nancy Becker.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Don't Wait Till Pigs Fly, a podcast where we talk with business experts and get their ideas on strategic tips, plans, and processes to help you grow your business to the next level. Today, we're talking with RJ Redden of Black Belt Bots, and I am going to let her introduce herself for a change. Good morning, RJ.
Good morning, Nancy. Thank you for having me on. I'm so happy that you asked me and just honored to be part of your podcast.
Well, I'm excited to learn. I know that bots are the big thing these days, and I keep saying, I got to get a bot. So let's start out by just explaining to the audience, what the heck is a bot?
What the heck is a bot? They're not named very well. That bot term is very non-descriptive and it can stand for so many things. So let me tell you what a bot means to me. It is a conversation in Facebook Messenger on steroids. It is part of it's automated. Part of the messages are served up according to, where that person came in or what they're asking for, what they need. They'll get a series of messages. I've got a 7-day mini course in my bot. Some people pick that. Some people want to be involved in my live streams. You can choose your own adventure in this conversation. The messages are served up automatically. And at some point, and this is where the magic happens, I pick up that conversation and I connect with a human being that I know is interested in what I'm doing, that I know, is invested a little bit in finding out what's going on. It's amazing. The difference between how I do business now and how I was doing business before. I've been teaching people marketing technologies for 20 years. I always had to deal with folks who are tire kicking, folks who weren't really interested in what I had to offer. I kind of always had to filter through all those conversations one by one by one. Now I get to focus my energy on the people who really want what I have and are a great match for me. And it's a huge difference.
Oh, that sounds wonderful, but I just got totally confused.
Okay, tell me where you got confused. I often, sometimes I kind of run off a little bit there.
Well, what I personally have seen with a bot, for instance, is things will pop up on Facebook that say, "Oh, you said you were interested in being in one of my Facebook Live groups. Are you really interested?" And I click yes. And then it sends me to all this other information. And then from there, it sends me on to this. Is that really what a bot is intended to do, is just be the first face that your company has with your potential customers?
Yeah, it really is. And so here's the thing. So as entrepreneurs, you and I have been to 78,000 networking meetings where we kind of stand and we've got, maybe a beverage or maybe we're sitting and we try to talk to as many people as we can to try to make a lot of connections. We ask people the same 7 questions and we get asked the same 7 questions over and over and over again. We maybe out of the 10 people we talk to, maybe 2 are people were like, oh, I need to have a relationship with this person. We end up with kind of a stack of business cards at the end and we, go home and we put them on the nightstand or the desk if we're like really super motivated. And that's all great. But I know that for me, I miss those connections a lot of times. And then I know that I'm not, I don't love to get up and go to those things, because I know that 8 out of the 10 conversation, this person doesn't need what I'm providing. This person, you know what I mean? And it's such a frustrating experience for me. With a bot, I can recreate that conversation, and I can put my best foot forward every single time. And that automated conversation, I can ask certain questions, get certain answers, and figure out, if this person is ripe for what I provide. It's an onboarding process that selects people into certain categories. So with folks that are tire kickers that don't really want what I need or want what I have, that's super cool. I can kind of, I can give them something for their time, but it doesn't have to be, my eyeballs. I can take my energy and spend those on the people who are really hot for what I have. So it's really, it's that first foot forward. It's that first conversation where you kind of establish who you are, what you do, and you're able to offer that to people over and over and over again. If 100 people hit on my bot right now, I would be having 100 conversations with those people. And it would serve up to me, hey, here are the people that are really super ready. So to me, it's a great way to skip to the 5th date, where the good stuff's going on already.
Makes a lot of sense to me. And and I've been saying, oh man, I'm doing so much right now. And if I could just take one thing and give that to a bot to do, like I'm working on trying to create this retreat right now that's going to be happening in September. And I'm going, oh, I just wish that I could get something that I could turn over and let, but you said a word in your comments just there that immediately struck me. And I want to talk about that for a second. Everything that you hear, everything that's taught these days is about building relationships.
Yeah.
It's about not just going around and handing out business cards, but to actually, I want to get to know you, RJ. I don't want just something out there. So how does a bot fit into this whole concept where we're actually you're turning something over to automation when we're really supposed to be digging into personal relationships?
Exactly. So there are 2 ways that bots can accomplish really developing those personal relationships. One way is, and I have this in every bot that I build for me, that I build for clients, it's a place where you can ask a question and get a hold of a human immediately. Because some people don't want to go through the whole conversation. Some people come and they're ready with their questions right now. You want to provide a place where people can talk to a human being. What the bot does when you hit that button, or if you just type RJ, if you just type my name into my bot, it will summon me. On the back end, I get a little message in Messenger. I get a little email that says, hey, somebody wants to talk to you, head over to live chat and chat with them, so that I know, and then I can get back to those in a reasonable time frame, and I can have a conversation with somebody. And I always say, this is RJ, not the bot. I always make sure that the people know when they're talking to a bot and when they're talking to an RJ. And that seems to really help people understand that you can pick up the phone on this conversation, the virtual phone. You can pick up the virtual phone on this conversation anytime and have a real live conversation with somebody. That, to me, is the magic of it. That it's not an entire series of automated robot sounding responses. No, it's a series of automated delivery, but the messages, that's all me. That is all me. That my personality, my way of speaking, my sense of humor, it's all infused right into that bot. So people don't wake up in the morning and think to themselves, I would like to call a large insurance company today, and I would like to listen to their automated voice response system, because that is a fabulous experience. I hang up on those things. I am so tired. So tired.
We just went through that. My husband was trying to get a hold of our medical doctor's office that we had gotten a bill for, and the bill wasn't right, and he calls, and it's 10:30 in the morning, and the message that he gets on the call is, we open at 9:30, please call back. And they're in the same time zone that we are. I get it. I am so tired of all this automation. That's why I'm saying, when we're trying to deal with real people, and I'm actually seeing commercials now that say you'll never get an automated response. You'll always get a live person. So do you have an issue trying to sell your services to businesses because they're wanting the reality, the real thing?
I haven't made a sales pitch in a year and a half. I haven't needed to. And that's what I think the heart of what I want to share is, that I am a reluctant marketer. I am a fabulous maker of courses and programs and a whole lot of beautiful things that stay on the shelf because I am a reluctant marketer. I stop at the point of, okay, RJ, now you need to shout to the heavens about this thing, and don't be shy about it, because I am sick and tired of being screamed at about everybody else's products. Yeah. Here's what I want to know. Can I trust you? Do I like you? Do I like your point of view and where you're going? If so, we can work together. That's what I want to know. I don't care about how many features you have. And so that's what is a perfect marriage with a bot, is that I don't have to sell. There are 10,000 people out there who will either do a bot for you or teach you how to do it if you want to do that, take that road. 10,000 people out there. You don't need me. The only reason you might need me is if you really resonate with the way that I do things, and if you think you can trust me. So what I do is I create a sequence that helps you understand who I am, what I do. And trust is always a personal decision, right? I mean, that's nothing that I can make happen. But I can tell you that the way that the bot delivers, the way that it's Johnny on the spot with answers to questions, that does help people develop trust that you know what you're talking about, and that you're not just another person going, I need to jump upon this particular fad and ride this wave until I find another fad and ride another wave. No, you know what? I ran into bots in I think it was June, about a year and a half ago. I think it was June of 17. It took me 2 weeks to decide that I needed to turn my entire business over to it. And I did. I've been working on nothing but bots ever since, and creating powerful situations for my clients, because we have relationships. This is the thing. They're all my friends now. I will be getting on a plane at 5:00 in the morning tomorrow. Why am I doing this? To go to a conference in Phoenix, where I will talk to a bunch of people about bots. But I am also, I'm speaking there, but I'm also meeting my friends there. I'm meeting my clients there, 3 of them. Hopefully 4 if we can get that last one to turn. But we're going to be meeting, hanging out, and having a wonderful time. I don't have a normal client relationship with folks. I welcome them into my circle, and I am invested in their success. If they're successful, I'm successful. And that's never been more true than right now.
I think we're twins, because what's coming out of your mouth is what comes out of my head, exactly. So I agree with you totally and completely. But let's take a minute here to walk through the process. Okay. I know I want a bot. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. And I know I've got all these different things that I'm doing that sure seem like it would make sense for me to automate, but I don't have a clue. So do you actually sit down with a client who says, I want you to do something for me, but I don't know what I want you to do. Can you figure it out?
Yeah. So what I did immediately, because I have so much experience teaching people marketing technology, is that I have a spectrum of services. So I'll ask you, how much elbow grease would you like to put into this experience? What's your level of comfortability with technology? And so I'll ask those kinds of questions, and then the answers to those lead to, okay, I think this would be best for you. I do not have a service where it is a perfect turnkey, send me a bunch of stuff, I'll write you a bot. I did that when I first started. It doesn't work. A bot is a collaborative experience. So I certainly write bots for people, but it's a collaborative experience. And then I pass it back to you, Nancy, and say, Nancy, I'm going to need you to Nancify this. Please put in your personality, your words, build on what I've built for you. So it's never a 0% effort on your part. Not with me. You can find plenty of bot builders who will do that. But I found that folks they didn't understand it well enough to use it after I did that. So I range from 100% DIY to a collaboration effort with me and another person, and it's not a one-time thing. It's a month-to-month kind of it starts with an R. It's one of those contract things where retainer. That's what it is. It's early this morning still. In my time zone. It's really not that early, but I'm going to drink my coffee anyway and hope to remember.
I got mine right here too. I think though what my question was, and that makes sense, and that was actually you were thinking ahead of me, because that was going to be my next question was how do you personify something like this? But say I have, I want to get registrations for my retreat. I want to get people signing up for my mastermind program. I want people joining my Facebook groups. I want people signing up for my newsletter. All of those things, it seems to me, would be, you could botify them in some way.
Oh, yeah.
How do you pick? I don't know. I have no clue what makes the most sense to start out with. Can you look at somebody's business and say, these are the things I see that you do. I think this would be a perfect test subject, so to speak. Let's start with this and see where it gets you.
Absolutely. So you can do every one of those things with a bot. You can take registrations, and people, if they want to, can pay you right within Messenger. Now, I've had some people say, can I pay you with PayPal? Because they just trust that a little bit more, which is totally fine. I have a link and I send it to them, and it's all good. So do expect that, because people don't quite trust Messenger and money quite yet. But you can do every one of those things. Get people signing up for your newsletter. Get people to, sign up for the course that you just made. So what I do is this. People enter into the bot, and they can go one of three ways immediately. It's a choose your own adventure. If you remember those books when I was a kid, I'll say, then people can choose their own adventure. They can ask me a question right away. They can get subscribed to my live streams. So that sends them a reminder 15 minutes before I go live every time. That, my friend, if you're a content producer, and most of us are as small business owners, that really can get some butts in the seats because people so badly want to consume your content. It's just that they have to go so many places to get it, and they're busy, and we're all overwhelmed all the time. You send them a message where they're already looking in Messenger, and people go, oh, that's nice. And they click the button or they watch the replay or whatever they want to do. But you've made it easy for people. This is the key to getting people to your content, whatever that is, videos, podcasts, blog, don't care. It's totally the key to getting people there. So people can get reminders from my live streams. They can ask me questions, or they can take a mini course on bots, which is a 7-day little free mini course that'll teach you, it'll teach you what bots are, what they do, how I build mine, what software I use, the whole shebang. And then at the end, I ask people if they want to schedule a free Ask Me Anything phone call. It's a 30-minute phone call. During the scheduling, I ask, hey, is there any social media or websites you want me to look at before we talk? Because I want to do my research, right? I mean, I want to know who it is that I'm talking to, what kind of content they produce, if they produce content at all. I want to know where in the spectrum they are with a lot of these tools and technologies, so that I can make a more specific answer. Because here's the thing. People are tired of being blasted with information, just as they are tired of automation fatigue, and information fatigue is what I deal with every day. I don't want to send you a message unless I know you're going to have a value out of it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have a session with you unless I know that I can help you and bring you some value. So after the mini course and the schedule a call, people can do that anytime from the bot anyway. But what the call is absolutely ask me anything. Tell me what you want to do. I've already looked at your business, and I'll be able to tell you, okay, I think you should start here. This is going to be the most bang for your buck. This is going to grow your crowd while you're, learning how to do these things. Or listen, let's collaborate on a bot right now. I've got room in my schedule right here. We can start on it right away, or 2 weeks, or whatever it is. And you can expect results in, whatever amount of time it is. So that call is, obviously for me as well, so that I can kind of, deliver you some value right there. But also it's an overwhelming thing. I just had somebody tell me today, and this lady is an expert in education. She took my class, and we're going to collaborate on a bot together. And she said, that was a lot of information. I do not know where to start. Can you tell me where to start? I'm like, okay, here we go. So we are going to do that in a couple of weeks. We're going to sit down and look at everything she wants to do, perform triage, and figure out what's going to give her the most bang for her buck, the most return on the energy spent in building this thing. Because she's a DIYer. She loves to do it herself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's kind of an example of what I do. It really boils down to all of my calls to action in the bot are focused toward sit down with me. Let's have a half an hour, ask me anything, so that I can get to know you and get to know where, what to recommend. That's the human part of the bot. That's the part that people love. And that's why I haven't had to make a sales pitch in a year and a half.
Well, I know you've got a new client. So when you get back from your conference, let's get back together again, because I want to do this.
Yay!
I think it's amazing. And, but then my next question, of course, is, are you awfully expensive?
Well, I don't think that I am. I do have a fast lane and a slow lane on the collaboration stuff, so that people can choose, do they, what they want their investment to be. It's, how quickly do you need results is kind of the thing. I also have, like, for folks that just want to dip a toe in and get their feet a little bit wet. I've got a little class. I hold it one time a month. It's a live 3 hours of me. If you think you can take that, and I go through everything from step 1, signing up for ManyChat, making sure that your account has all of the little best practices set. I give away my little secrets on that. Then we write what I call a reminder bot, which is what we talked about just now with all the, content production type stuff. How to write a reminder bot and how to write engaging messages so that you can get in conversations with people, get them to that phone call. All that's a $97 deal. You can dip a toe in the water. You can say, hey, is this thing for me, or is this just another flash in the pan, or is it going to be too difficult? So that's like entry. That's like entry level. I've got template packages. I've got classes. I've got all of that for DIYs. And then I've got my collaboration, which is probably the higher end. Yeah. But I mean, we can go up all the way up to, I am a member of your team and you can call me anytime. I have that option as well.
I love it. That sounds wonderful, because historically for me, for many, many years, I ran it was, heaven forbid, it was before virtual administrative assistants. We had a brick and mortar, admin company. And it was so nice because I was able to just say, hey, this person on my team is going to do this and this, when I could do it. I have a VA now. I love it, but because I'm finding out, and I think as entrepreneurs, we all get to a point where there's so much that we're doing and we don't do all of it wonderfully.
No.
And you said a few minutes ago, you said ManyChat.
Yeah.
And I've been signed up member of that for probably 6 months. I went in and I looked at it and I went, okay, and never went back in again. And that was it. I'm the kind of person that I could do it myself. And for years and years and years, I did, because there was no one else out there to do it for me. But I think, like a lot of other people, I'm to the point right now where I say, oh, you'll do it for me? Oh, thank you, RJ. Turn it over to you, let you do it. So, it sounds incredible. And it just sounds like, depending on what someone wants, what they need, what they can afford, It sounds like you are very reasonable. You really know what you're doing. And that for all of my readers that would like to find out a little bit more about bots, I think they need to talk to you and take that online class. How would they do that?
So the online class that I just talked about, the $97 guy, that happens once a month. And if you go to startyourbot.com, that will immediately give you the information when we're going next. I believe it's September 20th is a Thursday. That it'll tell you everything about it, what you're going to get from it, what you're going to walk away with, and so all the information comes. And then it'll ask you if you want to register for a class, or if you have a question. Again, that beeps me on the back end, and I can, help people, or, decide if they want to do that or if they want to do something else. But a lot of people just register right through the bot. And then that's all on startyourbot.com. If you want to take the mini course instead, get your feet wet that way. The mini course is free. It's a 7-day deal. It's a lot of information, but it's awesome, and delivered, of course, right through the bot. Go to checkoutmybot.com. Checkoutmybot.com. Yes. Okay. Yes, I bought that URL. I had to.
Yeah, absolutely. It was calling your name, I'm sure.
It really was.
Well, that is such great information. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you would like to share?
I would. So there's a ton of people out there like email is dead, and all of this stuff. And there's a lot of hype about bots because of the open rate and the click-through rate. I'm going to tell you that is important and super cool, and I just absolutely love it. But the important thing is, do you want to really connect with folks? Do you want to have conversation with folks? Do you want to offer them a different channel on how to get a hold of you, connect with you, ask you questions? These are the important things. I care about the click-through rates too. I do. But more important to me, how many conversations have I had this week? How many times have I been able to set one of those AMA meetings with people? How many times can I do that? What's my goals there? When I think about that as my bottom line goal, then my bot success increases. Here's another thing. And this is just a little thing, but it really surprises people. So, as you know, I haven't had to make a sales pitch in a year and a half. Yay. Thank whatever is out there, because that's amazing. I hate sales pitching. I have been working on black belt bots, the actual bot that I'm pointing people to right now. I've been working on it since March. Checkoutmybot.com is everywhere. It's in all of my social media profiles. It's everywhere. It's on my website. You can get into my bot on my website, in the bottom right corner. How many bot subscribers do you think I have, Nancy?
You tell me. One?
160. And I am busier than I have ever been. I just had to hire a VA myself. She is attempting the impossible task of organizing me, because I'm a right-brained individual and I don't do that easily. I'm busier than I've ever been. I'm making more than I ever had, and that number ain't very big, Nancy. But
look at, if you've got 5,000 disinterested people who could care less about what you're doing, or exactly. If you've got 160 really interested, I want to know every new thing that RJ's doing, I'd much rather have 160.
Any day. It is not an apples to apples experience. Mm-hmm. It's about human connection. And I know that that's cognitive dissonance. I know I've just said that a bot is more humanly connected than my email list is, which I haven't sent out an email in over 6 months because I don't like email very much. But it's all about, now's the time. Now is the end of fake marketing. Now is the end of standing with whatever digital bullhorn you want and shouting at as many people as go by and hoping somebody filters back to you. Let's not do that anymore. Let's be ourselves. Let's be the real us. Let's really offer an honest product to people, and let's not have to sell anymore.
Amen to that. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a mentor, and she's a really good friend of mine, but I have very small followers. I have like 250 people on my email list. I've got like a 60% open rate, which is an incredible open rate. I had a group on Facebook that was a closed group. And she was telling me, you've got to open it up. You've got to and I said, no, I want to know every person that's on my list. I want to be able to say, oh, hi, I see you were on my page the other day, RJ. How you doing? How was that conference you went to? At this point, I no longer know all these people. And I'm going, they're not going to want anything from me. But she says, well, that just means you've got to do all that much more marketing work to let people know who you are. You don't need to know them. They need to know you. And I'm going, well, all right. But I agree with you totally. I think it's so much more important to know and be a part of the people that you are working with. It just makes sense.
It does make sense. And here is every entrepreneur everywhere. If you don't get anything out of this conversation but this thing, listen to this thing. And you don't need a messenger bot. You don't need anyone else's structure on how they do things. Go with your instincts. Hone your craft. Don't buy a $5,000, let me teach you how to build a funnel in 8 weeks. Do not do these things. These are things that have worked for other people. If you listen to something and you think that might work for me, then go after that thing. You know what I'm saying? But I've had so many people do that to me too, Nancy. And it's just like, I've had so many people say, you need to get into these groups and you need to answer questions publicly and you need to get your name out there and you need to be seen and you need to be, you know what? That has never brought me the right people. And I feel salesy and douchey when I do that. When I go and try to, hijack somebody else's stuff, no more. I am going to craft my message. I'm going to make my own stage. I am going to talk about how cool these things are until the day I croak, because these things are that cool. And I'm not going to do any of those things that make me feel inconsistent, that make me feel like I'm stepping over the line. I don't have to do that anymore. And so I've found a way not to do that anymore. If you can find a way to not do that anymore too, that's the greatest thing. That's the greatest gift I can give to any of your listeners or anyone else.
And I highly recommend that everybody listening to this not only listens to what RJ just said, but takes it in and applies it. It is so important. If you are just spinning your wheels, not getting anywhere because you're listening to what everybody else says, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to have a successful business. So RJ, thank you. That was absolutely wonderful advice. And you have a safe trip tomorrow. Enjoy meeting with your friends and colleagues. Have a great conference, and we will talk when you get back.
That's wonderful, Nancy. Thank you for having me on. And audience out there, I know you're hardworking entrepreneurs, so pat yourself on the back, grab another cup of coffee, and and keep going, because you're worth it.
Just before we leave, give everybody your email address. I know you gave websites, but give them your email address so that they can reach out to you if they want to.
Absolutely. So my email address, pretty simple, rj@blackbeltbots.com.
Yay, that's an easy one to remember. So thank you again so much, RJ, and we will be talking soon. And in the meantime, everyone, you can download this. You can subscribe to this podcast so that you don't miss any of the wonderful information that my great speakers will be telling us in the past and in the future. And that is at don'twaittillpigsfly.com. And until next time, don't sit there waiting for those pigs to fly, but get out there, do the things that sound and feel right for your business, and I can guarantee you will be soaring higher. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.
Thank you for listening to Don't Wait Till Pigs Fly with host Nancy Becker. Join Nancy every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Global Voice Radio.